Right, we talk about it all the time. Stanford made Rose Bowls, won Pac-12 championships with lowly regarded recruiting classes compared to its competition, and they bring in a great class in 2017, just loaded, small in numbers, but loaded with impact players. 2018 off to a exceptional start. We bring in Don King from Last Word on College Football. And Don, can you kind of run through the class the way it stands right now? Obviously a long way to go, but they've got some firm commits here that are pretty special.
Yeah. The 2017 class is absolutely stacked. I'm only aware of kind of one kid, another quarterback who's signed for 2018, but 2017 is just loaded with, guys like Foster Sorrell and Walker Little, Davis Mills, all top 15 kinds of talent. Colby Parkinson, the tight end from Southern California, really highly regarded at his position as well. And some great athletes in Osiris St. Brown and Connor Weddington from Southern California and Washington State, respectively. A couple of really good defensive linemen in Ryan Johnson and Dallin Wade-Perry. The class is loaded. There's a ton of talent.
All right. And as you mentioned, Jack West, a firm commit to Stanford.
Right.
Kid out of Alabama. Sixth rated position, according to 247 Sports, and number 3 in Alabama.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see Stanford recruiting so well in the Southeast lately. There have been a number of players from Alabama and from Georgia. The Florida Panhandle has been fairly good to the Cardinal in recent years. It's really been impressive what Lance Anderson, the recruiting coordinator and defensive coordinator, has been able to do. And David Shaw has proven to be a very good closer in the living room, selling the notion of Stanford as a 40-year commitment, not a 4-year commitment, and a great opportunity for kids, in their post-football lives, whenever that life may begin.
I like that line. I hadn't heard that one, Don. 40-year commitment. That makes sense.
Indeed. It's been talked about a lot, and we've seen it in writing a couple of times. There's paper floating around. You're making a 40-year decision, and you're not going to regret it. And they're able to stack up stats around lifetime earning potential relative to other places. And oh, by the way, there were 5 Stanford players, on rosters of the 2 teams in the Super Bowl this year, and 3 of them will have rings now. So it's not a bad story to tell. It's like if you want a shot to play in a pro style offense, or to play, with coaches on both sides of the ball with significant professional football experience to set you up to do well in the NFL, and to get a top-notch education to set you up for the rest of your life, it's a pretty good story, and it's not a bad pitch to be able to make.
Yeah, there are similar models at Duke, Northwestern, and Vanderbilt, but in regards to success on the football field, Stanford does it best and has for quite some time now. Talking Stanford football, getting you ready for spring practice, breaking down positional groupings with Don King from Last Word on College Football. Don, it's always a pleasure.
Thank you very much, Mark. Have a great night.